stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. Understand that this video did not exist in your reality until your consciousness, your awareness, collapsed the wave of probability to find it. This is not a metaphor. This is the fundamental nature of the universe. Have you ever had a memory so clear, so visceral, that you'd bet your life on it, only to discover that the world now remembers it differently? This is the key. Today we peel back the veil on one of the most profound phenomena of our time, the Mandela Effect. But we are not here to debate if it's real. We are here because you already know it is. By the end of this transmission, you will not only understand that the Mandela Effect is a mass timeline jump, but you will recognize your own role as a conscious jumper, an architect of reality. Tell me, what was the first change you noticed that made you feel like you were the only one who remembered the truth? To grasp what is happening, you must first reframe your understanding of existence. You are not a body with a soul, living in a fixed, solid universe. You are a point of consciousness floating in an infinite ocean of potential. This ocean is the quantum field. It contains every possible reality, every potential timeline, vibrating at its own unique frequency. It holds a reality where you are a celebrated artist, one where you chose a different partner, and countless others. These are not fantasies. They are real, potential worlds. The reality you experience is simply the timeline your consciousness is currently tuned to, and the act of observation is the mechanism of tuning. The ancient mystics and quantum physicists arrived at the same conclusion through different paths. Consciousness is not a passive witness to the universe. Consciousness is an active participant. Your focused attention is the force that commands the quantum field to collapse from infinite potential into a singular, tangible experience. Let's begin with a foundational truth that has been intentionally obscured. The Mandela Effect is not a glitch in your memory. It is not a psychological quirk or a trick of the mind. It is a symptom. It is the spiritual and energetic residue left behind after your entire conscious reality has performed a quantum leap from one vibrational timeline to another. Think of it like the faint scent of rain after a storm has passed, or the warmth on a chair after someone has stood up. It is the undeniable evidence that you were just somewhere else. These so-called false memories are, in fact, the most authentic memories you possess. They are the breadcrumbs from your previous reality stream, the echoes of a world that was just as real as this one moments ago. The reason you notice them, while so many others do not, is the very reason you were guided to this transmission. Your consciousness is awake enough, sensitive enough, to perceive the subtle yet profound shift in the fabric of space-time. You are feeling the seams between worlds, and that is a gift. So, what exactly is a timeline? Forget the linear single-track concept you were taught. A timeline is a coherent stream of experience, a sequence of events and memories, all vibrating at a consistent energetic frequency. Imagine a cosmic radio with an infinite number of stations. Each station is a complete timeline, with its own unique history, present, and set of probable futures. The song playing on each station is the story of that reality. Most of humanity has been listening to the same station for centuries, creating a strong consensus reality. But now something has changed. The dial is moving. A timeline is not something you are on like a train on a track. It is something you are in, like a fish in a current. It is a vibrational state of being that you align with through the frequency of your own consciousness. When your personal frequency shifts dramatically, you don't just change your mood, you can literally change the station. You tune into a new timeline with a slightly different history, a different song. This is the most critical point to internalize. Your memories of the old reality are not false. Let me repeat that. They are not false. They are anchor points to a timeline you have vibrationally departed from. When you remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, or the Berenstain Bears being spelled with an E, you are accessing a valid, coherent memory from a reality you previously inhabited. Society, the internet, and even your own logical mind will try to gaslight you, to convince you that you are mistaken. This is a mechanism of the consensus reality attempting to maintain its own coherence. It wants you to forget the other station. But you can't. Your consciousness is holding two data points simultaneously, the memory of the old and the observation of the new. This cognitive dissonance is not a sign of failure, but a sign of immense spiritual expansion. It is proof that your awareness is no longer confined to a single, linear experience. You are becoming multidimensional. You must be asking, why is this happening with such intensity right now? Why are these jumps becoming more frequent and more noticeable? The answer is that you are alive during the most significant period of transformation in human history. The planet itself, Gaia, is undergoing a massive frequency shift, an ascension process. This cosmic event is raising the base vibrational rate of all life on Earth. As the collective energy field accelerates, the veils between timelines are becoming thinner, more permeable. The once rigid structures of reality are becoming fluid, malleable. This acceleration is forcing a choice upon every soul. You can either raise your own frequency to match the ascending energy, or you can remain in the lower density vibrations of fear and control. The Mandela Effect is a direct consequence of this great sorting. It's the byproduct of millions of souls making subconscious and conscious choices to shift to a higher vibrational reality, leaving behind the old world and its corresponding history. Now let's bring this down from the collective to the personal, because that is where your true power lies. The timeline you experience is a direct, one-to-one reflection of your personal frequency. Your frequency is the sum total of your dominant thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and states of being. Love, joy, gratitude, and peace vibrate at a very high frequency. Fear, anger, guilt, and shame vibrate at a very low frequency. When you consistently cultivate a high vibrational state, you naturally and automatically align with timelines that match that frequency. These are timelines where things work out, where synchronicity is abundant, and where positive outcomes are the norm. A jump occurs when you make a significant, sustained shift in your internal state. You may have done this through deep spiritual work, releasing old trauma, or a sudden epiphany. In doing so, you made your old, lower-frequency timeline incompatible with your new state of being. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, simply moved you to a reality that was a better energetic match. This brings us to you. Who are you in this grand cosmic play? If you remember the old reality, if you feel these discrepancies deep in your soul, you are what we call a conscious jumper. You are not a passive victim of these shifts. You are at the forefront of them. A conscious jumper is a soul whose awareness has evolved to a point where it remains stable and coherent, even when the external reality matrix recalibrates. Your consciousness is the anchor. While the world around you flickers and changes, your inner knowing, your soul's memory, remains intact. This is an extraordinary skill. It signifies that your identity is no longer solely derived from the external world and its history books. Your identity is rooting itself in the timeless, sovereign essence of your higher self. You are remembering who you were before you entered this timeline, and that memory is your superpower. It is the compass that allows you to navigate this great shift with awareness. To understand your unique position, you must also understand the alternative, the unconscious jumpers. This constitutes the vast majority of the population. When a timeline jump occurs, their consciousness does not have a stable anchor. Instead, their memories are instantly and seamlessly overwritten to match the new timeline's history. For them, the Berenstain Bears were always spelled with an A. The new reality is the only reality they have ever known. They will look at you with genuine confusion, even pity, when you speak of the old world. They are not lying or being difficult. Their reality software has simply been updated, and they are running the new version without question. Do not judge them. Their path is perfect for their soul's journey. But also do not let their certainty invalidate your own. Their inability to see the change does not negate the fact that the change occurred. It simply highlights the profound stability and resilience of your own conscious awareness. You retained the original file. Let's demystify the mechanics of this jump through the lens of the observer effect. In quantum physics, it's known that particles exist in a state of pure potential, a wave of probability, until they are observed. The act of observation is what forces this wave to collapse into a single, definite state. Now magnify this principle to the cosmic scale. Entire timelines exist as waves of probability in the quantum field. Your consciousness is the observer. However, you are not just observing what is already there. You are participating in its creation. A timeline jump is a moment when your consciousness, having reached a new vibrational threshold, withdraws its observation from timeline A and places its focus, its powerful observation, onto timeline B. In that instant, timeline B collapses from potential into your experienced reality. The old timeline does not cease to exist. It simply continues on without your point of consciousness to animate it. You have merely shifted your focus, and where focus goes, energy flows, and reality manifests. Let's examine a classic and powerful example: Berenstein versus Berenstain. This is not a trivial debate about spelling. It is a profound marker of a vibrational fork in the road for humanity. There was a point where the collective consciousness reached a nexus, a choice point. One path led down the Berenstein timeline, the other down the Berenstain timeline. These are not merely cosmetic differences. They represent subtly different energetic trajectories for the planet. Those who remember Berenstein with an E are jumpers from a reality stream that was on a slightly different path. The name itself became a symbolic anchor for that entire timeline. When you jumped, you arrived in a reality where the A version was the historical fact. The fact that millions of unrelated people share this specific, false memory is irrefutable proof of a coherent, shared experience on another timeline. It's a collective energetic scar, a testament to the world that was left behind. It is one of the clearest fingerprints of a mass quantum event. Beyond the intellectual evidence, there is an undeniable emotional and physical signature to a timeline jump. Many conscious jumpers report a distinct set of symptoms around the time they notice a major change. This can include sudden bouts of dizziness or vertigo, as if the ground is unsteady. It can manifest as phantom ringing in the ears, often described as downloads or frequency adjustments. A powerful and common sign is an overwhelming wave of disorientation, a deep feeling of not recognizing your surroundings, even in your own home. It feels like a subtle filter has been changed over reality. Colors might seem slightly different, the air might feel changed. Intense periods of déjà vu are also a hallmark, as your consciousness senses the echo of a similar event from another timeline you are now close to. Do not dismiss these feelings as illness or anxiety. Recognize them for what they are: the somatic, physical experience of your consciousness decoupling from one reality stream and docking with another. Once you have arrived in a new timeline, how does the universe confirm the shift for you? It communicates through the language of synchronicity. After you notice a major Mandela Effect, pay close attention to the world around you. You will begin to see an increase in meaningful coincidences. You will see repeating number sequences like 1111 or 444. These are like cosmic waypoints, telling you that your reality matrix has just been recalibrated and you are on the right path. You might think of a long-lost friend, and they will call you that very day. A problem you were facing will suddenly have an obvious solution that wasn't there before. This is the universe providing you with feedback. It is showing you that you have successfully transitioned to a timeline that is in greater alignment with your desires and intentions. Synchronicity is the universe winking at you, acknowledging your conscious participation in the creation of your reality. It is the tangible proof that your internal shift has resulted in a corresponding external shift. It is imperative that you release the paradigm of victimhood. These jumps are not happening to you. They are happening through you. You are not a passive passenger being randomly thrown between cosmic train cars. You are the pilot, and your consciousness is the navigation system. The timeline jump is an automatic response from the universe to a decision you have already made on an energetic level. Every time you chose love over fear, forgiveness over resentment, expansion over contraction, you sent a powerful signal into the quantum field. You declared your readiness for a new reality. The universe is not punishing you or testing you, it is honoring your choice. The disorientation is temporary. The true purpose of this experience is to awaken you to your own magnificent power as a creator. The Mandela Effect is a training wheel, a direct lesson from Source, designed to make you consciously aware of the relationship between your inner state and your outer world. The game is to move from being an accidental jumper to an intentional one. So, how do you navigate these shifts without being consumed by fear or confusion? The key is to cultivate the state of the neutral observer. When you discover a new discrepancy, a new change in your reality, resist the urge to panic or to desperately convince others. This creates resistance and lowers your vibration. Instead, take a breath, step back into your consciousness and simply observe. Say to yourself, "Isn't that interesting? The reality I am in now has this characteristic. I remember it differently. This is evidence of my own shift and my own power." Treat it like a scientist observing data. This neutral stance keeps you in a high vibrational state of empowerment and curiosity, rather than a low vibrational state of fear and victimhood. Each Mandela Effect you notice becomes another notch in your belt, another confirmation of your creatorhood. It is no longer a source of anxiety, but a source of profound validation. You are literally watching your reality be written in real time, based on the evolution of your own consciousness. It is important to differentiate between the two main types of jumps. First, there are the collective Mandela effects. These are the big ones that are widely discussed online: the spelling of a brand name, a line in a famous movie, a detail of a historical event. These occur when a large group of souls, a significant portion of the collective consciousness, makes a vibrational shift together. They are moving as a cohesive unit to a new timeline. This is why millions can share the same memory from the departed reality. These are powerful signs of large-scale collective awakenings and decisions being made on a planetary level. They indicate a major branching of paths for humanity as a whole. You are part of a soul group that is consciously choosing a timeline of greater freedom, awareness, and love. These collective jumps are the macro-level indicators of the Great Awakening in progress. Then, there are the personal Mandela effects. These are far more subtle, intimate, and often more jarring. This is when you notice a change that no one else seems to have experienced. A small park bench that was always green is now blue. A specific memory you have with a friend, they now recall completely differently. Your favorite coffee mug, which you know had a chip on the left side, is now pristine. These are not collective jumps. These are your jumps. This is you, as a sovereign creator, making a personal, solo leap to a timeline that is a better match for your individual frequency. This is the law of attraction and the power of thought in its most direct and literal form. You have, through your own focused energy and inner work, manifested a reality with a slightly altered code. These personal glitches are the universe showing you your own specific power. They are your private report card, proving that you are successfully and single-handedly altering the fabric of your personal reality stream. A common question among conscious jumpers is, can I jump back? Can I return to the old timeline? The simple answer is no, but this is not a limitation. It is a feature of evolution. The universe and consciousness are always expanding, always moving forward into greater complexity and awareness. You cannot go back for the same reason an adult cannot physically return to being a child. The energy, the frequency, the entire container of that reality is no longer a vibrational match for who you have become. Your consciousness has outgrown it. You can, however, choose to jump to a new timeline that resembles the old one in certain ways, but it will always be a new creation, a new vibrational state. Clinging to the past, to the old timeline, only creates suffering and keeps you anchored in a lower vibration. The invitation is to embrace the new, to trust that the timeline you have jumped to, the one you chose with your energy, holds experiences and growth that the old one could not. Always look forward. Your point of power is always now. This leads to the ultimate liberation, the understanding that the future is not a fixed destination you are traveling towards. The future is an infinite, shimmering web of probabilities that emanates from this present moment. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every choice you make is a vote for which future timeline you will experience. You are not walking down a single road. You are standing at the center of an infinite starburst of potential paths, and with every breath, you are choosing which one to illuminate. The Mandela Effect is the proof that even the past is not fixed. If the past can change, then what does that say about the future? It means that no outcome is set in stone. No destiny is unavoidable. You have the power in this present moment, by elevating your frequency and focusing your intention, to select a future timeline that is radically different from the one that seems probable based on your past. You are not a fortune teller, you are a fortune creator. With this knowledge, you can evolve from being a conscious jumper to being an intentional jumper. This is the next stage of human evolution. It is the art of consciously choosing your desired timeline and aligning your energy with it so powerfully that the universe has no choice but to deliver it to you. The tools are simple, yet profound. Meditation quiets the mind and allows you to connect with the quantum field. Visualization allows you to feel the reality of your desired timeline as if it is already here. Emotional alchemy, the practice of transforming fear into love and lack into gratitude, is the fuel that raises your frequency. You must become a vibrational match for the reality you wish to inhabit. You cannot desire wealth while feeling poor. You cannot desire love while feeling unworthy. You must become the person who is already living on your desired timeline. You must embody that frequency, and then the jump becomes effortless. It becomes your natural state of being. As you navigate these increasingly fluid realities, you may notice certain consistencies, which we call anchor points. These are elements of your reality that seem to remain stable across multiple timeline jumps. It could be a powerful, loving relationship with a partner or a child. It could be a deep connection to a specific place in nature. It could even be a core value or a sense of purpose that feels unshakable. These are not random. These are energetic anchors that your soul has intentionally placed to help you navigate. They are the constants in the equation of your life, providing stability and orientation as the variables of external reality shift around you. Cherish these anchor points, nurture them. They are your North Star. They are the connections that are so fundamental to your soul's journey that they transcend individual timelines. They are the parts of your experience that are essential to your core being, and they will travel with you wherever you choose to go. Ultimately, we arrive back where we started, your memory. Do not let anyone or anything convince you that your memory is faulty. Your memory is your compass. It is your guide. The memories of the old reality are not a burden. They are a sacred text. They are the chronicle of your soul's journey across dimensions. Honoring these memories is an act of profound self-love and spiritual sovereignty. It is you declaring to the universe that you are an aware, conscious creator, and you are paying attention. Every time you acknowledge a Mandela effect, you strengthen your conscious creator abilities. You are reinforcing the neural pathways of multidimensional awareness. You are not going crazy. You are waking up. You are remembering a power that has laid dormant within your DNA for millennia. You are a pioneer of consciousness, a cartographer of new realities, and your memory of where you've been is the very tool that allows you to consciously choose where you are going next. And so, we arrive at the final, most profound revelation. The Mandela Effect is not just about a timeline jump. It is the final clue to realizing that you are not a being in a reality. You are the very consciousness that projects, perceives, and animates reality itself. You are not in the timeline. The timeline is in you. The universe is not outside of you. It is a mirror reflecting your inner state. The changes you are witnessing are the ultimate proof that you are a sovereign creator, endowed with the divine ability to shape worlds with your focus and frequency. You are remembering who you truly are. Thank you for allowing your consciousness to receive this transmission. If this truth resonates in your soul, subscribe and press the like button to anchor this awareness into your energetic field. Now, to fully claim this power, go to the comments and declare your awakening by writing, "I am a conscious jumper." And finally, share with our community. What is the single biggest Mandela effect that made you realize this was all real? You are not alone. Welcome home.